everybody, this is TJ, the Urban Treasure Hunter, and today I want to show you some more tips and tricks to finding killer metal detector sites. If you start at google.com, what I'm going to do is type in Houston historical markers. And what you'll see is something that comes up Google Maps. So I'm clicking on that. And so as you'll see, there's these little blue historical markers everywhere. And if I zoom in, I could find one, like say this one here. You click on it and it says Alameda. In 1892, Illinois investigators bought land here near a pre-Civil War railroad line and platted the town of Alameda with it. I can click on more and it gives me all the history on it. So here I have the history and I'm going to read it right quick. In 1892, Illinois investors bought land here near a pre-Civil War railroad line and platted the town of Alameda. With its mild climate, the town was marketed as a citrus farming community. But unusually severe freezes caused many farmers to turn to dairy production by the 1920s. Alameda became a prosperous dairy farming town. In 1893, residents founded a school district that served children from parts of 3 counties. Although Alameda became part of the city of Houston in 1859, it remains a part of local history. So here is a map, kind of a close-up map of it all, as you can see. And so we know several things about this. Number one, we know that in 1892, people from Illinois bought the place, and it was near a pre-Civil War railroad line. So one thing we can definitely tell about this is that there are railroad tracks, and that this was a pre-Civil War railroad line. Okay, so now is phase 2. What I'm going to do is I am going to zoom in near this marker here, and I am going to look at the possibilities around here. Now if we pull up a close-up here, we can see the railroad tracks. These railroad tracks were here before the Civil War. There are a lot of places to hit that are considered public land. Now one thing that I'm also going to do is I am going to go to my Google Earth. So on Google Earth, if I fly to Alameda, Texas, then I can find the railroad very easily because it's right up against this highway here. And what I'm going to do is again use my clock. And I'm going to go back to 1944. And I am going to see what the development looked like back then. So this is Alameda in 1944. And remember, the clock setting is right up here. So you can click on it and go wherever you want. It looks like the most developed spots are generally around this area here. The other spots were just fields. And the thing is, if you find an old city or an old town like Alameda in 1944, what you can do is look at where the town square would be. And it looks like this general area is the area that has a lot of business and so forth. This is also called Commercial Lane. Commercial Lane was apparently here in 1944. It's very interesting. You can see the roads and everything. Now what I could do is I could turn off the roads on Google Earth and look at just the old roads back then. But if you want to orientate yourself to where you're at, you can get your orientation rather quickly by clicking on the roads, and then you'll see where that this is Highway 521. So this is the area that I'm going to focus on. When I go with my metal detector, I'm going to go down and I'm going to go back to now. What I'm going to do is I am going to focus on particularly this area here, both sides of the track. Now this is called Commercial Lane, and I can see that there are a lot of buildings and structures and houses and so forth. But Commercial Lane is a short little road. So I've Googled the Harris County Appraisal District, and now I'm going to go to the real property records. What I can do is put in Commercial Lane and search. I can see that there are quite a few landowners here, but I have a whole list of landowners. Right away I can see that all the commercial lanes are up to here. Then it goes to Commercial Park. What we're interested in is Commercial Lane. So I could pick any one of these companies, and it looks like MAO Properties owns quite a bit of the property here. So I'm going to click on the link there, and it gives me their address. So if you've driven by physically and noted the addresses, you could pretty much figure out if there's a house on one corner and a house kind of in the middle and lots in between and so forth. Then you can kind of deduct who the owner is by looking at the addresses. One thing it doesn't give you on at least the Harris County Appraisal District website is the phone number to the owner. So that's something that you're going to have to get yourself if you want to contact them by phone. Whitepages.com is one that I used to use a lot, but it's no longer free. But you used to be able to put in a person's name and get a list of those people with phone numbers and addresses. Of course, now you have to pay for that service. Another thing that I could do is a drive-by, and that is where I will actually go on Highway 521 just by rolling down all the way. And then once I get on 521, then I can drive forward, but I can also look to the right. And I can keep driving forward as I'm looking to the right. And it'll show me just various pictures that Google has taken. Sometimes you can turn down the streets, and I'm going to see if I can turn down this street. Yeah, so see, it's letting me go here. So now I'm going to take a right, or I'm going to look to the right, and we're actually sitting on the railroad tracks on Google Earth. Hopefully no virtual train comes and hits us. But it gives me an idea of the layouts and everything. All of this here would be considered public land. I've hunted it before, not this particular spot, but I've hunted land between railroad tracks and streets, and have never had a problem as far as people complaining or asking me what I'm doing. So what you could envision here is that someplace like this house here might have been the railroad station. But you could literally drive down these streets and look and see everything that you want to see. I can look to the left, I can look to the right. Metal detecting around a historical marker is a Class C misdemeanor in Texas, and it's a $1,000 fine. So you do not want to be standing near a historical marker with your AT Pro digging up stuff, because the Texas Historical Commission will get you. Other states are just like that. They all have protection laws for their historical sites. So the best thing to do is to find a historical marker and look for land areas around the site, but not on the site, that you can get permission to go on, or public lands that aren't protected with a historical marker. A lot of times you'll find really good stuff around those sites. Camera Girl and I are going to be having another giveaway soon. We're giving away some silver for St. Patrick's Day. I hope that you all will participate in the contest. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting.